Alright folks, so WandaVision has come to a close, and with the final episode being released, I thought I might take a look at each episode and rank them. So, let's get into it. Obviously, major spoilers ahead, so if you don't want spoilers, click away. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, I'm not going to spoil. But later, there will be spoilers, so leave. Go. I'm serious. Go. Yeah, you. Go. But you can stay because you've seen it. Yeah. All right. I also want to preface this with, I find that most of the stuff MCU puts out is incredible. This is no different in this show. So just because an episode ranks lower doesn't mean it is bad per se. It just means that I don't like it as much as some of the other episodes. Let's get into it. Coming in ninth place, you have episode 1, filmed before a live studio audience. A little recap for you. Wanda and Vision are in a 1950s era sitcom, having some trouble preparing dinner for Vision's boss and wife. This episode's fun as a sitcom, but seeing as it, really does nothing for the grand scheme of the show, besides provide small little subtle clues, really serves little purpose, to be honest with you. And obviously, it's not in the slightest traditional MCU content. It's basically entirely a sitcom, and the only real charm it has is the fact that it is recreating this time period so effectively. That's why it's 9th place. Coming in at 8th place, episode 2, Don't Touch That Dial, for pretty much the exact same reason. Little recap for you. Wanda and Vision face shenanigans while trying to fit into Westview and engaging in a magic show. Again, pretty much the same reason as the first one. This episode deserves 8th place because there's a little bit more fun and comedic shenanigans to be had here than in the first episode, but it's still pretty bland sitcom stuff. No reason to watch it outside of wanting to see, but unless you're a completionist rewatching the MCU, or wanting to get that sitcom charm from it. Spot number 7, episode 3, Now in Color. Little recap. Wanda is pregnant and births her twins as Vision tries to find out more about Westview. There's a pattern you might have noticed here, of course. My bottom 3 are all the first 3 episodes, and that is because you're slowly ramping up the mystery as you go on, but it is still pretty much all sitcom aside from a few action moments. Episode's pretty bland. Don't watch it unless you want the sitcom recreation. Number 6, though, breaking the pattern, is episode 7, Breaking the Fourth Wall. Little recap. A depressed Wanda wants a day to herself while Monica enters Westview again, and Vision tries to answer all of his questions with Darcy. This episode actually gave us quite a bit. Monica gets her powers, Agatha is revealed, but the episode's a little boring, all things considered, to be honest with you. All this stuff is shoved in there. The episode's a little longer than it needs to be, and none of this stuff is handled in a super interesting way. It's all explored, pretty generically. So, I don't have a lot of enthusiasm for this one, but of course, that theme song is a bop.
Who's been messing up everything?
It's been Agatha all along.
Coming in at number 5, episode 6, All New Halloween Spooktacular. Little recap. Vision tries to finally discover all the secrets about Westview while Pietro and Wanda go about Westview on Halloween night. The highlight of this episode is, of course, Vision trying to horrifically escape Westview and getting torn to shreds. But most of the episode is both of them individually, Wanda and Vision, just wandering around and trying to figure out stuff. And that's not inherently an interesting concept. They both encounter some nice things. Pietro's an okay addition. And it certainly doesn't help that the style they're mimicking is the 2000s and Malcolm in the Middle, and it's very obnoxious. Coming in at 4th place, episode 8, Previously On. Little recap. Agnes tries to discover how Westview was created by exploring moments that shaped Wanda. Of course, Wanda's grief takes center stage in this episode. There are many powerful scenes in which you really get to empathize and understand Wanda's character more, and serves as a nice prelude, to the final episode. But it's super long. It's a really long episode, and a lot of the moments are very slow. A lot of the individual scenes are very slow, drawn out, and they don't really feel like they need to be. It doesn't justify the length, and unfortunately, that brings this one down. The top 3, by the way, we're about to enter the top 3. each have moments which are honestly some of the best in the entire MCU, just to let you know. Third place, episode 4, we interrupt this program. Little recap, we learn about the beginning stages of the Hex from Sword's perspective, along with Monica, Darcy, and Jimmy as well. This episode nails the explanation of, WandaVision thus far, because at this point, everyone's confused. No one knows what's happening, and it really does a good job of explaining it all in a chronological narrative. It's kind of fun after watching episode 1, 2, and 3 to see Sword experience those moments with them. And whether it's, Monica getting sucked into the reality at the beginning, Sword setting up base, Jimmy and Darcy, meeting, it's all really fun stuff. Another major highlight of this episode is, of course, the blip, exploring the blip and the aftermath of that, and Monica, and her relationship with her mother, who has now passed on. And that's really cool stuff to explore. And I hope we see more of that, honestly, because that was great just to see it from a non-Avengers perspective. Coming in second place, episode 9, the series finale. Little recap. The season finale sees a few final battles, and Wanda finally coming to terms with the reality and deciding what choice she needs to make. This is a great episode filled with great action and even greater, emotional closure. Because again, Wanda has to decide. She has to pick what she wants. The battles are epic. Just the closure is so great. It really does tie up everything nicely. Of course, not everyone's theory was correct. Mine certainly weren't. But a really satisfying conclusion to this show. A really good job. But folks, coming in at first place has to be episode 5 on a very special episode. Little recap. Vision finds more information about Westview, and Billy and Tommy age up and get a dog. This episode is incredible. It expertly blends the external world with Sword, outside of the Hex, and then Westview itself. Vision's quest to uncover the mystery, reaches some all-time highs in this episode. I'd say it's better than the Halloween one, but some great stuff in here. This is the episode where he wakes up Norm. Wanda's the key to this episode, though, because you not only have, in my opinion, the best MCU moment of Wanda yet. I have to maybe think about that a little more, but easily, top 3 Wanda moments in the MCU where she's so pissed off. She walks out of the Hex, showcases her power and her rage to Sword. Everyone outside watching. What a tense, great scene with Wanda. What a great scene. And again, one of Wanda's best moments in the MCU. As if that moment wasn't enough, folks, you have another clash at the end of the episode, but this time it's between Wanda and Vision. And it's not fist fighting. It's words, folks, clashing with words. And Vision is letting loose. He's screaming. You feel the weight of each word he says coming through your screen, folks. It is an incredible, incredible moment. But there's more, because, folks, the cherry on top is that this is the episode where Pietro comes and knocks on the door. Now, if Pietro was just a cameo, I'm a little disappointed. As of right now, I'm disappointed because that's, of course, what it seems like they're going with. If Pietro, Quicksilver, Evan Peters was just a cameo. But I cannot deny the fact that after watching that scene, after watching that episode, my mind was racing for a week. I could not stop thinking about it, about the implications, about the multiverse, about how it was so handled, obviously now I know why, but about how it was handled so nonchalantly. Folks, that episode is a blast, and it's the best of the season. Alright, folks, so that's my review of the Wandavision episodes. If you think there's a moment in a particular episode I might have forgotten about that would have elevated it, let me know down below. I think this was generally fair, and again, the show sort of has an arc where it's like, sort of down in the beginning and it goes up. It's not even bad at the beginning, it's just down lower. It goes up, and in episode 4 and 5 you really hit a peak, and then it goes down a little bit and it sort of plateaus again above here, but if this makes any sense, plateaus and then arcs up for episode 8 and 9. But great stuff. Great stuff, Marvel. I'm excited for the future of TV shows. If you're watching this when it came out, then that means Falcon and the Winter Soldier is next. I expect to do something similar. Reviews each week, reviews/recaps each week, and a episode ranking at the end. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Alright, folks, so that's it. I've been EDPC Reviews. You've been amazing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.